Hi, I'm Amir from Techtree.com and today we have for you the latest from the HTC lineup, the Dzire 600. Let's see if it's actually as desirable. For starters, the phone is quite solidly built and it's quite sleek as well. We like that combination. The plastics used are quite good and it feels very good to hold thanks to its matte finish. The screen is a 4.5-inch QHD display with a resolution of 960 by 540 pixels. Now for a 4.5-inch screen, we are expecting a slightly higher resolution, but to be honest, it doesn't really look bad at all. In fact, the screen is sharp enough and the colors are vivid and the sunlight legibility is good as well. But there is one issue that we have here, that the screen does not have a protective glass. Now we are talking about a mid-range phone here and it absolutely deserved one, else you're going to get scratches on the screen over a period of time. As far as the hardware is concerned, this is yet another quad-core offering, but it's not based on the MediaTek chipset that we've seen over the past few weeks, but on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 SoC. Having said that, this is not the fastest quad-core around, though it's clocked at 1.2 GHz. Also, there's 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of internal storage, which you can expand further using the microSD card slot. Moving on to the performance, it's perfectly acceptable and fine in day-to-day tasks and most of the applications. But when you start multitasking, the phone starts to lag a bit. And that, as I mentioned before, is because of the slightly older chipset that this phone uses. As far as gaming performance is concerned, the casual games like Temple Run 2 run absolutely fine on this. As far as the more graphic intensive games are concerned, things like Real Racing 3 did work on this, but the frame rates were a little low, so not ideal for high-end gaming, this one. On the software front, the Dzire 600 comes with Android Jelly Bean 4.1, which is not the latest version of Android, but just about acceptable. But more importantly, it brings in the HTC Sense UI 5.0 on top of Android, which makes Android look a lot better. Now, if you remember, this is the same UI that you get in their flagship offering, the HTC One. This UI brings in something called as a blink field, now which is very similar to the live tiles that you get in Windows Phone 8 especially. Now, it looks very good and you get a lot of live updates from a lot of services that you choose to put in the blink field. Now, the way I look at it, this is the best of both worlds between Windows Phone, which personally I like the UI, and of course the Android ecosystem. Now, despite all the UI changes, you do not worry, it's not something that you can't get used to. Of course, it will take a little while, but it's all for the better. Also, there's another change here. You're generally used to seeing 3 buttons under the Android phone. In this case, there are only 2, the back and the home key. So if you want to see the list of open applications, all you need to do is just tap the home key twice and you can get to that. Now let's have a look at its camera. Now this one comes with an 8 megapixel autofocus camera with an LED flash. Now though there are a lot of options to play around with your images, the eventual picture quality is not so great. Mind you, the camera is not too bad, but having said that, you're looking at a 25,000 rupee phone and you can't have a camera that's comparable to the budget quad-core handsets. It has to be true to the cost that you're paying for this phone, and on that front, it's not up to the mark. On the multimedia front, this phone does impress, and especially in the sound department since it comes with Beats Audio. Now it sounds very good on the bundled earphones, and if you use some better aftermarket earphones, it sounds even better. As far as the video playback is concerned, it does support a lot of formats, and just in case it doesn't support a couple of formats that you have, you can always use third-party players like MX Player and it does support everything. But more importantly, the video playback is quite smooth on this device. On the connectivity front, the options are pretty standard with your 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and the works. But one thing I would like to mention here is that this is a dual SIM phone, and unlike most of the phones that you've seen so far, this is a dual active SIM phone, which means both the SIMs are active. So even if you're getting a call on one of the SIMs, the other is not put in standby mode, but it's absolutely alert. So if you get a phone on the other SIM or the other number, it will alert you with that. As far as the battery life of this device is concerned, it lasted me for just about a day, which is just below average as far as other phones these days are concerned, especially with the battery life going up in recent times for Android devices. And last but not the least, the price. The HTC Dzire 600 is priced at 25,500 rupees, which we think is a little expensive for what it offers. The ideal price should have been around 20,000 rupees. Now having said that, now there are far too many good phones that are available around the 25,000 range. For example, the Samsung Galaxy S3 or for that matter the Google Nexus 4 which offer better hardware and of course better performance. So in that sense, you would not be overly tempted to buy this device unless you're looking at a dual SIM and something that's a lot slimmer and sleeker than those two phones that I just mentioned. So after having weighed all its pros and cons, we would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So that's it for now. If you're looking for more gadget reviews and the latest in the tech space, keep watching this channel, or even better, subscribe to it.